So this is about vitamin D. I will do others. I wanted to just let you guys know that this is an essential vitamin stroke hormone. We don't get enough sun unless you're in sunny Australia or somewhere like Africa, or maybe in Arizona on the west coast of the US. We don't get enough sun, and to be honest with you, you can even have sun and it doesn't mean you're going to process it properly. Even when I'm in the sun, I don't process it properly. If you're going to take a vitamin D supplement, always make sure it's D3. D2 is a pointless version of vitamin D. D3 is the type that we get from the sun, which our body turns into vitamin D. So for taking vitamin D2, you usually find vitamin D2 in excuse me, cereals. You might find it added into milk, and you think, oh, it's got added vitamin D. Well, it's not going to do much, okay? The stuff you get from the pharmacy, health food stores, is usually around 1,000 units. That's usually they're classed as higher dose. That is, I'd say, at a minimum every day. Okay, if you're living in a northern hemisphere where you're not getting much sun, especially during winter, I would be taking that. To put it in perspective, when I was really low, and I wouldn't recommend this, I was on 60,000 units a week for about 4 months, and then I take 1,000 units a day permanently now. I can't come off them ever again, and I've not, touched wood, I've not broken much since, apart from a toe again, I think. So it's very important that you take your vitamin D. And D2, bear in mind, like I've said, is a pointless version of vitamin D3. So I've come onto this website here, it's called the Pharmacy Times, and it talks here about how vitamin D does boost your immune system. Okay, so a lot of people really don't realise that vitamin D is not just for bones. Rickets is coming back in children. There is an adult version of rickets as well. Because it's adult bone, it affects the bones differently, because the children's bones are still growing. But bear in mind that all human beings, our bones remineralise constantly throughout our lives. The older we get, the less that they do it. And if you're not having that done as a child, you end up with rickets, which is, as we all know, is horrendous and horrific. And it affected a lot of, in the Victorian days, the children who were in the workhouses and weren't getting outside and getting some sunshine and getting some fresh air, ended up with this horrific disease. So, and just bear in mind as well, in the UK, the NHS in the UK, I'm not sure about the States, recommend that all children 5 and under have a vitamin D supplement daily, regardless of whether they've got a deficiency or not. So bear that in mind as well. I would say everybody. So this is from the Pharmacy Times, and it says here, vitamin D helps our immune system stay balanced during the cold and flu season. You don't think of it, do you? You think, oh, take vitamin C. No. Well, yes, but vitamin D too. Vitamin D receptors and activating enzymes on the surface of all white blood cells. The role that vitamin D plays in keeping the immune system healthy is very complex, because the immune system has to be perfectly balanced. If there is too much stimulation, autoimmune diseases can set in. If there is not enough the immune system activity, frequently infections can occur. Low levels of vitamin D have been linked with both extremes, and low level of vitamin D have been associated with worsening autoimmune diseases. So your autoimmune diseases, for example, are your rheumatoid arthritis, which is a form of arthritis that is not like osteoarthritis, where it happens, your bones rub together and it happens naturally. Most old people have got osteoarthritis. You can get it younger as well if you're unlucky. Low vitamin D can cause it, which is how I've ended up with it. But you see, celiac disease is another autoimmune disease. There's lots of autoimmune diseases. I think MS is an autoimmune disease as well. So low vitamin D, autoimmune disease. So low levels of vitamin D are not the underlying cause of the autoimmune disease, but low levels of vitamin D can make the autoimmune disease states worse. Low levels of vitamin D have also been associated with frequent infections. In 2009, the National Institute of Health warned that low vitamin D levels are associated with frequent colds and influenza. So this could be why people seem to be getting sicker and sicker. Now, I've got to take my vitamin D recently, and I've been very poorly, so I'm back on it now. And vitamin C. So it appears that vitamin D helps keep the immune system balanced, much like a gymnast walking on a balance beam. There have been many studies to determine the best regime of vitamin D supplementation. Now, in 2017, a large analysis of prospective clinical trials showed that taking vitamin D reduces the odds of developing a respiratory infection by approximately 42%. Okay, in people with baseline levels of 25 or below. Now, if you look at that 25 ng-ml or below, that is around, if you do it in a different equation, the equation that they use here is nmol, and 25 is around 50 in that, and mine was unrecognisable, so mine was well below that level and then some. The analysis suggests that taking daily vitamin D or weekly was more effective than larger doses taken singly. So the most common daily dose was D3, 300 to 4,000 units a day. So again, I would say 1,000 units a day would be ideal. And researchers found monthly high-dose vitamin D supplementation does not prevent acute respiratory infection. So you need to keep going daily with it, basically. Participants were given 20,000 units followed by 100,000 units monthly. So giving it a blast and then not taking it at all is, you might as well not bother. So with the coronavirus being a respiratory disease, it seems to be a pneumonia disease, taking vitamin D can give you 42% more chance of not getting sick. So that's really, really high. So this is how important vitamin D is. So do your own research. I'll put some links in the description. I would really recommend you do your own research on this. Because it's, people just don't realise. And I didn't realise until I got diagnosed that you could even be tested for it now. But you can. So there you go. So a few points to remember is it vitamin D3. It's called cholesterol, I think it is, or cholesterol is the official name. You can buy it from a pharmacy. If you've got a known deficiency, you can get it on prescription. But obviously, it's probably cheaper to buy it from the pharmacy. You can get it from certain foods, but to get it from foods, we don't synthesize it very well at all. You're better off taking it. We get it from the sun mostly. The foods doesn't go processed very well to do as you just wouldn't. You wouldn't get enough from food basically alone. Another thing to add is magnesium as a supplement also helps vitamin D absorb into the body. So just like taking vitamin C helps iron, it helps your body absorb iron. So if you're having problems taking iron because it gives you a bad tummy or whatever, side effects, if you take it alongside vitamin C, it will help your body absorb it better, so you won't have as many side effects. Now, it's similar to vitamin D and magnesium. It doesn't stop any side effects, because there isn't really any with vitamin D that I know of, okay? I'm not saying there isn't, but I've not come across any, and I've been on a super high dose. But magnesium will help your body absorb the vitamin D. Some people even say vitamin D on its own is an absolutely pointless thing to take unless you're taking it with magnesium. So bear that in mind. There are some quite good bone vitamins you can get. And now I take one called Osteocare, I think it's called, and you get vitamin D, you get calcium, and you get magnesium in one tablet. So you're getting everything you need for your bones. So that's like a basic one. You can get ones with glucosamine and stuff that help your muscles and your tissues as well. So there's lots out there. I will pop a few links in the description, but I just wanted everyone to know the importance. Now that we've got this coronavirus and other nasties going around, we need to boost our immune systems. So that is one thing that I would do. Obviously, keep eating fruit and veg, keep healthy, smoothies, juicing. But anyone that says you don't need to take a supplement of vitamin D if you're not getting any sunshine and you can get it from food, I'm sorry, but they're sadly mistaken. We do not get enough from food alone. We need sun or a supplement. Humans were not designed to be sat in a school all day or in an office all day, and then in the winter you never even see the daylight most of the time. We're not designed for that. We're designed to be outdoors. We're designed to be out and about. Children should be playing, not sat in a classroom. And this is causing an epidemic now of vitamin D deficiency, which is causing cancers. It's lowering people's immune systems, autoimmune diseases. You know, the research is out there. So just keep that in mind, folks. I cannot stress enough, vitamin D. Right, thank you very much for listening, and you take care. Bye-bye.